Hello and welcome to Automotive Optics. Today's demo is going to be setting up your company inside Optics. So to do this, we're going to go over to Company Setup and simply select the Setup tab. Once this opens up, here is all the information that needs to be populated in this page. So we have several categories. So company information, you'd want to populate all your company information, name, address, email, that type of stuff. And then we're going to go down below and you have whether or not you're a corporation or a sole proprietor. Here's where you'll fill out that information, corporation on the left side and sole proprietor on the right. Down below that we have communications and VAT info. So in this page, there's a couple things that we can do. This first category, block employees. So this allows your employees, when they log into a repair, the system will send the customer a text message and an email regarding what the technician is doing as far as working on that vehicle and what status they're working on, whether it be body repairs or painting. So that customer will automatically get that message from the system. If you don't want that to update your customers, simply click where it says allow and block, and that will prevent them sending automated messages. Down below is where you would select whether or not you charge your VAT tax on vehicle storage, and also to whether you charge VAT tax on labor. Down below that is a percentage that is being charged as far as the VAT tax rate. Next here on the right side, you see where it says Auto Notify Manager. This is a system where if you click yes, it will send a message every time one of your technicians log into the repair. It will send the manager an email and a text message. What individual technician logged in and what job they're working on. So if you don't want that to show, simply click no and it won't send that information. And then you would have to actually, if you wanted to see it, you'll have to populate the email address and his cell number here. Down below that, job number start at. These are the sequence. So every time you create a new repair order, it will go up by one. So it will increase 3047 to 3048. So pretty simple. You'll select the time zone and whether or not you use online QuickBooks or desktop QuickBooks. So you just select it there. The dashboard order, this is your photos. So if you want the first picture to show, that means you take your first picture and that's the only picture it would show and nothing else. Or you can take the last picture. So every time you update your photo status, it's going to be that last picture that is taken that shows up on the dashboard. Let's go up to the top of the page, and to the far right side is where you're going to bring in your logo. So simply click in this drop files and it will open up your browser, and then select your logo from your browser and then select open, and it will bring in the logo down below. Once the logo is down in this section here, it will appear above the top menu bar next to the search feature. So we have completed this portion of the company setup. Now we're going to go back into the dashboard, and the second thing we're going to be doing is company employees. So as soon as you hit setup, it's going to open up this page here, and here is where you'll put in the employee's name and their job title. In this case, we're going to use a body tech. Once you submit, it's going to open up their page here, and if you notice in the middle of the page it says efficiency report. So this is as a technician is logged in and he actually starts working on a job, it's going to show here what he's working on, and it's going to break down his efficiency here, and then it will show you his time. It's his job card here, and all the information as far as his rate of pay and stuff will be on this side as well. So if you wanted, and this is a body technician, so if you wanted to see what a estimator looks like, it's slightly different. So here, if you're setting up your estimator, as they start adding estimates or jobs to the system, it's going to start populating those numbers in this page here. So there are two different type of employees, so it will have two different type of reports. So let me go ahead and go back. And here we're going to go ahead and start filling in the information about this technician. So we're going to go into employee information. And here is where you go ahead and add everything about this employee. And once you've completed, you hit submit. And now we'll go into title and position. So the system already knows he's a body technician. And here's where you assign him an employee ID and an employee PIN code. And if you're going to have them use, so they need an employee PIN code to log in and out of the jobs from the computer. But if they're going to be using an app, you'll need to create an app username here. And in this case, I simply just use the same PIN code, but I put an M in front of it for mobile. And that way they can log in and they can remember their username. Access level. In this case, he's a shop technician. So if he was an estimator, you would put him under admin or office staff. The app messaging username, you can disregard this. This is all done inside the app setup. So this will be when we actually go in and create an app. The team is if there's a team that he belonged to, simply click on that and choose the team. So once you've created and populated that page, you're just simply going to submit. And now we're going to go into accounting. So in the accounting page, we're going to put in the date he was hired, the pay rate that he was hired at, the last pay raise, dependent, you'll select the dependents if you use that. And if he's an estimator and if he gets a percent of the total jobs that he brings in, here you can put in the percent, 1%, 2% of the total jobs. Here is where you would pick whether he's a shop technician or a paint technician. So if he was a painter, you'd select paint and detail. In this case, he's a body and frame tech, so that would you would want to populate that there. And then simply submit, go into the pay structure. And here is where, if you allow vacation, you can pick the how many weeks per year you allow. So in this case, we can just put 1 week. And if you allow them to have sick days, you can select the number of sick days, or you can put no sick days. Right now we know he's active because we're adding him now. You can select from the pay structure whether he's commission, hourly, flat rate, group, or salary. So if he's hourly, you'd simply click hourly here, and then you would put in their rate there. If he is commission, you would select commission, and then you would put his percentage of commission here. And if he's flat rate, you would select flat rate, and then you would put in how much per hour he gets here. If they're salary, you would pick the salary and how they get paid, weekly or bi-weekly, and then you would put in the salary amount. And if it's an estimator and he has a monthly sales goal, here is where you'll put that dollar amount so he can track where he's at as far as his monthly sales go. So once you've completed that, you submit it and you go into employee certificates. Now this is only used if the technician has gone to school and got certificates for doing maybe a chassis training or paint training. You would just put in the description and you would put in when it expires, and then you can just go into your choose file and bring it in from your browser. And once you have it here, you would just submit it and it will populate to the right side. Labor assignments. So we know right now this is a body technician. So from this drop down, you would choose what he does. And this technician does disassemble. He does frame repairs, mechanical repairs, body repairs. and reassembly. So you would choose all those, and then you would submit and go to the next item, admin access. So here is where your estimators, your office staff, your managers all will get their own username and password. So I have one already created, and I believe it's right here. So basically, you would put in their username, a password, account type. So they're going to be account, or they can be office estimator. So mainly, I use the account admin for your managers and your estimators. Office staff would be for the girls that are actually picking up the phone and that type of stuff. Once you've done that, then you're going to put in the email address and then the company email address, and then simply submit. So that would be their username to log into the system and their password. Once you've completed that, you're going to go down to software restrictions, and this is where you restrict anyone in the admin page that can log in as an admin staff, and you can restrict them. So if you want to restrict them from accounts receivable, select that, go ahead and submit, and it's going to populate on the right side. And this person cannot log into accounts receivable. And then you can go to the next one and add that, and so on. So that will restrict them from all those. Then if you have the technicians asking for time off through the system, then everything they're asking for will be in the request. So this person asked for some sick time and the dates that he asked for it. You can approve it, and it will send them a message that it's been approved. So this will conclude how the employee is set up inside of the Optix system. I'm going to go back to the dashboard page, and next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the vendors, so your suppliers. So we're going to click on setup. Once we click on setup, it's going to open up your setup page. So I already have one pre-populated. You're going to go ahead and put in the company name, what kind of vendor they are. So in this case, they're a Mercedes vendor. You put in the city, area, cell number, and it's really important to make sure you have the email, because you can send the electronic orders through email, but this has to be populated for this company. And then you can put in the contact name at that dealership and the address, the company phone number, and if they still use fax, you can put in the number there, and what percentage of discount they get. So once you've done that, then basically they show up under your parts, and they're going to show up under, you're going to click on supplier management, and here's where they would be. So every time you go into parts and you choose Blackstone Mercedes, it's going to actually send that parts department this email. It's going to send it to this email, and then they'll be able to give you the information on those parts. So now I'm going to go back to the dashboard. So once you've completed 1, 2, and 3, the last thing you have to do is select Let's Get Started. Once you click that, it's going to get rid of that page, and now you're in the area where you start bringing in the jobs and start managing your software. So this will conclude this video. Thank you.